All right. I'm wanting to present the IKEA Sleep Report today. It's a very interesting report that was done over 55,225 different people, I believe, and included about 57 different IKEA locations. It's gathered quite an extensive amount of information, and they presented the report online publicly for their uh, staff and their customers and whoever's interested to take a look at. Um, yeah, as we jump into it, before we get started, I wanted to present the ostrich, Lizzie, that wanted to join me on this report, as they had been very interested in seeing what all this was about. So, about the IKEA Sleep Report, like I said, it covers quite a bit of information. I'm only going to go over the first part and then maybe later parts at a you know different time, just so that these videos aren't that long. Um, yeah, it looks like neuroscientist at Uppsala University. I believe that's down in the States. I'm not too sure for certain there, but anyways, it has presented some of the quotes from these different scientists that I believe have worked on that. The executive summary. They spoke to 55,221 different people. And like I said, 57 different IKEA locations and gathered a whole bunch of different information. I'm not necessarily going to read everything, as you can read it here or you can read it when you like. I'll provide the link in the description below. So, Great Expectations kind of goes through how much sleep we get in consideration to how much sleep we should be getting. And interestingly enough, it is based on cultural norm as well. So some of the report goes into how that cultural the number of hours that on average we get as a group um, in a society. Typically, goes about, it says here, on the other hand, like Japan, people only expect to get 7 hours and 23 minutes of sleep, while they get the least sleep, 6 hours and 10 minutes per night. And then here, Turkey, people want almost 9 hours of sleep, but achieve only 6 hours and 42 minutes. And over 2 hours. This is the world's largest sleep gap. It's very interesting. I find that they've measured sleep gaps and kind of provided some of the major countries' numbers there, or at least the countries that they're primarily got IKEA locations in. And then they give some brief stats here as an overview. You can look at them like sleep like an Egyptian. 64% of people in Egypt rate their sleep quality as good, the highest of markets surveyed. I mean, that's intriguing. Like 64% is not all that high, but like here in North America, we've got pretty low numbers. I think it's somewhere between 55 and 60%. And that's yeah, it's got a number of factors like stress, environment, um, anxiety, basically our sleep habits, what we're doing before bed. And a lot of times we're just staying too long on screens and trying to put ourselves to sleep with the screen, or with listening to something, which is great, but I find sometimes that maybe the interrupt, and that some of the issues are, well, further into the report, it'll deal with talking about some more of the issues and what we can do. It gives a report, or it gives a section at the end of the report on what steps we can go through. Like I said, I highly suggest you actually read the report. Uh, and then the IKEA sleep score. Now that's based on a number of factors you could see here: sleep duration, sleep quality, sleep flow. How often do you wake up at night? And drift off time. I find that interesting that they also measured how long it takes people to drift off. Like, how are all these numbers really calculated? I'm not 100% certain, but they have found numbers to provide us wake-up state. Yeah, so anyways, ostriches only sleep for 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, that's an interesting fact. Like me, I find that my sleep is lower than I'd want, but that's the end of this report. I'll talk to you later.